What's good, you Buffs fans? Welcome on back, baby. We back. We back. It's exciting. Thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate the love on the last video, and we on episode number 3. And like Iverson, we talking about practice. So feel free to go ahead and hit that like button if you enjoying this episode. Feel free to go ahead and jump in the comments. Let me know your guys' thoughts on week 1 of fall camp. And then most importantly, if you enjoying what you listening to and what you getting in with, go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep you up to date with the herd, but let's jump on into it. Once again, baby, let's go. Now, I wanted to go ahead and kind of highlight what I thought were some key takeaways, some key points of week 1. I would be remiss to go ahead and say that there are quite a few week 1 positives. Now, the biggest one that I will go ahead and kind of say is, and you saw a little bit of it in fall and summer, and excuse me, I said fall, but in summer, and I think that you're seeing it more and more now. Specifically, I'm talking about the energy of this team. Now, yes, the bonding, the team atmosphere, sure, yes, but I'm talking about the energy that particularly the defensive side has. Now, am I going to go ahead and take anything away from the offense? I think that there are quite a few groups on the offensive side that bring a fair amount of energy, but and arguably some of the same. I would say the wide receiver group, especially, you see LeJounte Wester and Travis Hunter and Will Shepard and all those boys really vibing. But when I see the defense, I you cannot tell me that collectively they don't have a basis of energy. That whole group is not just one, position group by position group turning up. No, if somebody does something, that whole position group is turning up. And they enjoying it. They loving it. They cheering each other on. They do anything. They smack talking together. Every single one of them has their back. And let me just go ahead and tell you, from last year to this year, that that is huge. We seeing some change in that regard, and obviously, in this video, you're going to see some fights. You're going to see some, some pushing and shoving, and I'm going to say I'm here for it. I love the energy, but I also think that we can't let that go too far to where we thinking that in a game scenario that's going to happen, because like Coach Prime said, we want discipline. We want that to make sure that come game time, we're not feeling like that practice environment, that game environment that we're creating at practice is gonna fall over into the game where we're gonna get stupid penalties that hurt us. And I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and kind of say that's going to translate, but I will go ahead and kind of share with you that this is something that I am a little hesitant on to keep allow it, and I think we need to slow it down. But man, I'm loving the energy that we are seeing here from the boys, and to add to the defensive side, I'm going to go ahead and kind of say there are 3 groups that I see being the biggest contributors to the energy. Number 1, man, oh man, I would have to say the defensive line, and just a very stand up point in that is they're our core. They are coming together, watching the 1v1s, you'll see, hey, you didn't do this right, but you did this right. And they're building each other up, and they're supporting each other. They're loving the energy. They're all bringing each other up, and that's amazing. That's what's awesome. You have to say, from that perspective, I'm loving what they are building at the base of the foundation at our defense. Number 2, our linebackers. Now, Trevor Woods has been putting on for our team, and from that group now, and I will go ahead and say I love him there. I understand transitioning from a safety perspective to the linebacker room is a bit of a switch, and he kind of talked about it in his presser earlier this week. But he's I think he had almost 6 picks this entire week. He had 2 on the first day, but wanted to go ahead and say that linebackers room was a big lack in energy last year, and I'm excited for it. I think that Levante Bentley is bringing energy as well, feeding off it, and there are plethora of new players in that linebacker room that are feeding off this energy and making it better. Now, obviously, the safeties, I understand Shiloh is hurt and coming back. Not he's out there moving, but I cannot find who number 9 is in the safety room. But man, the way he was moving to the ball, there's one clip in from Saturday, and it's in the video later, but you'll see Jimmy Horn run in to make a touchdown, and he's perfectly aligned with where he needs to be in running towards where Jimmy would have been, and he would have stopped him from getting in that touchdown. Now, obviously, we're not hitting the receivers, but hey, that right there is what I love to see. We are making steps forward in the progression zone of being collective and together. So defense, backbone. Love it. Love what I'm seeing. Love the direction of where we're going, because without this defense, the offense can't do what they need to do. And the other aspect of it is they keep the points off the board. At the end of the day, we needed points off the board, and we would have won. We would have won more games. We would have won more games last year. And I understand. I'm not sitting here saying that we're the best team in the Pac-12, but I am ecstatic to see what this team can deliver, because I'm going to be honest with you. I think we have a lot to offer, and I think it's possible that we're going to shock some people. But I'm hoping that if we face adversity, we're able to overcome it early. Face it early, and then turn it around the rest of the season, so we can at least compete for that bowl game. And hey, a bowl game is amazing. Now, I want a championship title from the Big 12, but I'm going to go ahead and just say it. Listen, one game at a time, and I know these boys are focused like that too. One game at a time. Switching to the offensive side, I'm going to go ahead and kind of call out some players and zones where I think we're improving the most. And, Charlie Austin Ball. Brother, he was playing amazing. Obviously we saw this last year with Dylan Edwards, and I think Charlie's really filling that role to fit in with where Dylan Edwards was in that regard of being a little bit smaller and a lighter of a running back. But I will also kind of share with you, I'm really loving what Michael Welsh and Hood, and then obviously I believe it's Augustine, the running back from Arkansas, and we cannot forget that Dayon Hayes is there too. So it's important to acknowledge the fact that the running back room is got some depth to it. That this offensive line so far looks like they're opening up holes, creating some space. Pat Shurmur was an offensive lines coach in the NFL. And obviously we got Phil Lolt as well, opening up some space into that area best, playing in the NFL for a plethora of years and just dominating with some winners. So, loving where those boys are going to be going, loving what we're going to be doing in that running backs room. But I want to expand on, just a key individual player that I think so far that I've seen kind of just stick out. And obviously, if you watch the spring game, he did the same thing there. LeJontay Wester crushed it, just came out and crushed it. If you're watching Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, or the pregame show, I know that there are a lot of clips circulating from different angles, and you're getting different perspectives, but LeJontay Wester, in almost every single one of them, is catching a touchdown. I think that LeJontay Wester adds a problem from a defensive perspective because you are able to really make it hard for defenses to adjust to who they're going to cover, where they're going to be, what they're going to make work of and light of. I think it's going to be really hard to kind of scale it and scope it to be a coverage. I mean, I think you're probably going to have to run a zone with the way that these boys are playing. Speedy, shifty, quick, fast, and then you've got Will Shepard, who's tall, going to get those 50-50 balls a lot, and same with Travis Hunter. So and Jimmy Horn's quick as well. So we've got some really tough choices for those defense to go ahead and cover. But just wanted to go ahead and kind of add to that point of, our offensive line is definitely giving Shedeur Sanders some more time creating space for those running backs to go ahead and find some holes. But I'm really enjoying what we're doing so far. We're just getting started. We're building that wall up day by day, and building the overall culture in a manner of like just success and energy. So I really love where this season is headed. I'm excited to see what we do. I'm excited to continue to see the growth that comes from this. I wanted to go ahead and just kind of say at the end of the video, I put in a portion to cover them dancing. That's the energy we're seeing. I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like, comment down below what your thoughts are, and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in.